As of Saturday morning, the Red Raider football team was 2 wins away from bowl eligibility, but could a matchup with Kansas get the team closer to postseason play? MCTV's Mia Fletcher will be in with the score and highlights from this weekend showdown on the road.
Those who have served our country were honored this past weekend during a series of events throughout the United States. Coming up, we'll take you to one local event that took time to recognize members of the Armed Forces for Veterans Day 2023.
And the countdown to Thanksgiving is just over a week away, and that means the season of giving will soon be in full swing. Find out how one business opened their doors to some furry visitors in hopes of finding them a new home just in time for the holidays.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Monday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Diego Aguilar.
And I'm Kiley Phillips. The Texas Tech Red Raider football team hit the road this weekend to take on another Big 12 team with their hopes of postseason play still up for grabs.
But with the team only winning 2 previous away games under head coach Joey McGuire, could Texas Tech put up another much-needed W in the win column? MCTV's Mia Fletcher joins us in studio with the first look at Saturday's showdown. Mia?
Thanks, Diego and Kiley. Texas Tech football had one of the biggest games of the season this past Saturday as they defeated number 16 ranked Kansas 16-13 in the last few seconds. This huge win now puts the Red Raiders at number 7 in the Big 12 and gives them a conference record of 4-3. This victory bumped Kansas down to number 8 in the Big 12, which allowed Tech to climb up in the standings. With only 2 conference games left, Texas Tech will have to beat UCF or Texas in order to be bowl eligible this season. Coming up later in sports, I'll have a breakdown of a very successful week for Texas Tech athletic programs and a look into the future for some of them. Back to you, Kiley.
Thanks, Mia. Along with college football, this past Saturday also marked another important date on the calendar, Veterans Day 2023. All around the nation, people took time to honor those who have served our country, and Lubbock was no exception. On Saturday morning, the Silent Wings Museum opened its doors to welcome in visitors for a full day of activities. The schedule started with a Veterans Day Remembrance Ceremony at 11 a.m., followed by screenings of documentary film Arlington Field of Honor, a gallery talk at 2:30 p.m., and a big band concert and dance to end the day. The Veterans Day observance is an annual tradition at Lubbock's Silent Wings Museum, with many of the volunteers and board members of the museum having served in the armed forces.
We always do it on the 11th, no matter what day of the week it is. We're just lucky that this year it's on a Saturday. And we have a solemn remembrance ceremony, which occurs at 11 a.m., which is the 11th hour, the 11th day when the guns stopped up and during World War I. And we take the opportunity to invite the public to come and honor veterans of all conflicts.
Saturday's schedule of activities ended at 8:30 p.m., but the Silent Wings Museum is open throughout the year to help educate visitors about the importance of the military's glider program during World War II. If you would like to check out the museum, it's open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sundays from 1 to 5 p.m.
The holiday season is just around the corner, and many people are gearing up for a time of family, food, and the giving spirit. With that in mind, one Lubbock business hosted an annual event in hopes of connecting local residents with a furry friend in the need of a new home. Scoggin Dickey Subaru, in partnership with Fox 34, held the 10th annual Home for the Holidays pet adoption event on Saturday. Several local animal shelters came out to the dealership on Spur 327 to help find some deserving animals a new home. Attendees had the chance to interact with dozens of potential pets, fill out paperwork, and take home their new furry friend before the holidays officially begin next week. Visitors also had the chance to make donations to the shelter of their choice and even pick up some pet gear at the event. The annual Home for the Holidays pet adoption event is held each November at Scoggin Dickey.
The South Plains area experienced a weekend of mild fall weather after a roller coaster of temperatures the previous week.
It's looking like 80-degree highs may finally be out of the forecast, but will mild conditions stick around for the last full week of classes before Thanksgiving? Weather specialist Elisabeth Herring joins us with a look at the week ahead in today's MCTV forecast. Elizabeth?
Yes, so taking a look out at our MCTV tower cam, you can see we still have some clouds in the sky hanging around from this morning's fog. That fog began around sunrise this morning. It was at its peak around 7:30, 8 o'clock, right when students were heading to class and people on their way to work. However, that did dissipate, and we will have some chances for some more fog as we move into the winter. Looking at our weather lately, we've seen more fall-like weather, more normal for around this year. We almost hit a record high for November last week with a high of 87, but it looks like this week we will be heading into some more fall-like weather, more normal weather for this time of year. Looking at our 72-hour rain total, we saw a little bit of rain last Friday during the Texas Tech soccer game. That was Friday evening, but again, it didn't make much of a dent in our totals, and we didn't see any rain this weekend, and it looks like we won't see any rain at least for the next couple days. Looking at our area highs, 60s across the South Plains. Snyder sitting at the lowest 57, but again, we are seeing some more normal fall-like weather for this season. Looking at our area lows, 40s across the South Plains except for Demet, 39, but we won't see any freezing weather tonight and this week. However, we will be some chilly nights with lows in the 40s. Looking at locally tonight in Lubbock, a low of 46, some calm wind, and again, no chances of rain tonight. Tomorrow, we will see a little bit of a cloudy day with a high of 65, but no rain chances, and we will be a little bit breezy with wind at 12 miles per hour. Looking at the rest of the week, we are seeing again that fall-like weather. We will see a little bit of a warm-up on Wednesday with a high of 70, Thursday high of 76 and some clouds, but it looks like as we head into the rest of the week, we are going to continue with some more chilly weather. Friday, we drop off again with a high of 66. Saturday, high of 67. Sunday, it looks like we are headed for a little warm-up, but again, it looks like we cool down again on Monday. It looks like we will see a little bit of a cloudy week, but again, no forecasted rain right now. On Saturday, Texas Tech is hosting its last home football game of the season, and it looks like we're going to have some beautiful weather for that with a high of 67, and it is an afternoon game, so it looks like it should be perfect weather for the last home football game of the season. I'm Elizabeth, and it's back to y'all.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Texas Tech Athletics just wrapped up another full weekend of events, including 2 days of volleyball and basketball, along with the first round of the NCAA soccer tournament, all here on campus.
MCTV's Mia Fletcher joins us again in studio with the look at scores, highlights, and what's next for all of those teams and more in sports. Mia?
Thanks, Diego and Kylie. Texas Tech football fans had no complaints after witnessing one of the most promising games this season, Saturday afternoon. The Red Raiders were not projected to beat the ranked opponent, but showed all of their strengths for 4 straight quarters against the Kansas Jayhawks. Quarterback Baron Morton was 19 for 25 while throwing for 176 yards and only 1 interception, and star running back Taj Brooks had 33 carries for 133 yards and 1 touchdown. On the final drive of the game, the Red Raiders went 63 yards in 20 seconds to set up the game-deciding kick, including Morton's long pass to Jerron Bradley to set up the needed field position. Tech's defense also stopped Kansas many times inside the 10-yard line to prevent a lead change. With 3 seconds left in regulation, Gino Garcia hit the game-winning 30-yard field goal to upset number 19, Kansas. The Red Raiders will be preparing this week to host UCF at Jones Stadium. The Knights are coming off a victorious win against number 24 Oklahoma State, but the Red Raiders would clinch a bowl game appearance with a win against UCF. Kickoff is set for Saturday at 4 p.m. in Lubbock. The past few weeks have been tough for the Texas Tech volleyball team, but last week the Red Raiders showed up 2 days in a row against West Virginia. The Scarlet and Black swept the Mountaineers, going 2-0 in the series, which was the first sweep since September 2nd of this season. Thursday, Tech had a shutout sweep, winning all 3 sets. The Red Raiders held West Virginia to a negative hitting clip, which was the first time since September of 2021. Emily Merrick led the offense after putting up 11 kills on 17 attacks for a career-best .647 clip. She also had a career-high 5 blocks, with one of them, hands down, being the best block of her season, according to Coach Greystone. Friday, the Red Raiders took the Mountaineers to 5 straight sets, but fought until the end to win the thriller and secure the series sweep. Graduate Caitlin Dugan was awarded with a career milestone after surpassing 1,000 career kills in the win. Dugan also led the team with 16 kills and tacked on 3 blocks and 4 digs. Setter Reese Rhodes almost had herself a triple-double after recording 42 assists, 9 digs, 3 blocks, and a career-high 8 kills. The Red Raiders would win the 5th set after claiming 5 straight points and the match by an ace from Caitlin Cochran. Texas Tech is currently 0-9 when playing away, but they will travel to Manhattan, Kansas in hopes of snapping that streak against Kansas State. The Red Raiders will take on the Wildcats in the series on Friday at 6:30 p.m. and Saturday at 4:30 p.m. One program had a very successful week as the Red Raiders soccer team defeated Florida Gulf Coast 1-0 in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Giselle Kazarski trapped a pass and shot a perfect ball to Alex Kerr, who ripped a shot for the winning goal, which propelled them to the second round of the tournament. The Red Raiders will go on to the next round of the NCAA tournament to face a familiar postseason team, the number 7-seeded Princeton Tigers. In 2018, Tech beat the Tigers 3-0 at the John Walker Complex, where the matchup will also be this year. The same night, the Walker Complex will host the second round, where number 3 North Carolina will face number 6 Alabama. The games will both take place Friday, with North Carolina and Alabama starting at 2:30 p.m. and Texas Tech versus Princeton at 6 p.m. If Texas Tech defeats Princeton, they will move on to the third round and play on Sunday. Basketball season is officially up and running, and both the Red Raiders and Lady Raiders have kicked it off getting wins under their belts. The Lady Raiders are 2-0 with wins against both UTRGV and Tarleton State University. Friday night, the Lady Raiders defeated the Texans 70-63 to secure their second straight win after 3 Lady Raiders posted double figures in the victory. Jordan Merritt led the team with 18 points, going 6 for 10 from the floor with 2 threes, 3 rebounds, and an assist. Bailey Maupin posted 16 points and went 500% shooting, tacking on 4 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and a block. Sophomore Jasmine Shavers had her second game in a row, scoring double digits as she had 11 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 steals. The Lady Raiders will look to make it 3 straight wins tonight as they host the Lamar Cardinals at 6 p.m. in the United Supermarkets Arena. The Red Raiders are also 2-0 this season after wins against both Texas A&M Commerce and San Jose State. Texas Tech took the 56-42 victory over the San Jose State Spartans this past Saturday. Devin Cambridge led the Red Raiders with 15 points, Jose Toussaint added 10, and Pop Isaacs led the team with a total of 5 assists and a career-high 7 rebounds. The Red Raiders had a low shooting percentage from just 39% from the field and 18.8% from behind the arc, but bounced back by forcing 16 turnovers and limiting the Spartans to a low shooting percentage as well. Texas Tech will host Texas A&M Corpus Christi this Thursday at 7 p.m. in the United Supermarkets Arena and hopes to make it 3 straight wins. That's all for sports today. Back to you, Diego and Kylie.
Thanks, Mia. As we mentioned earlier, the official kickoff to the holiday season is just over a week away. Thanksgiving is next Thursday, and many Red Raiders are counting down the days until they make a trip home.
Although most students have already secured transportation for a holiday trip, there is still one option left for anyone looking to leave campus next week. Tickets still remain to several destinations for this year's Thanksgiving break shuttle. The annual trips are offered through a partnership between Tech's Parent and Family Relations and BreakShuttle.com. Right now, students can still buy one-way passes to and from Austin, Dallas, El Paso, Houston, and San Antonio. The current prices for each trip are $145 for El Paso, $155 for Dallas or Austin, $154 for San Antonio, and $165 for Houston. All the bus trips leave from the R11 parking lot behind the sub on Wednesday, November 22nd, and each return trip will leave on Sunday, November 26th. Tickets will remain available until they are sold out, but quantities are limited. If you are interested in buying a ticket, visit BreakShuttle.com for more info.
So, Kylie, do you have your plans in place for Thanksgiving break?
Yeah, I'm actually going home early, and then we're going to go to a few different places from home. What about you?
That's nice. Well, I'll probably just spend time with my family in Dallas, so that's pretty much all we have planned.
That'll be nice.
Well, that's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you on Thursday.